Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, I stand in support of House Bill 1950, and I ask each and every one of you to support it as well. We have been debating this issue for many years, and we've learned a great deal about this issue, the industry and the impacts it has on Pennsylvania. I can tell you that I have traveled the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, personally visited these gas sites, whether it be in the far western part of our state or in the great northeast of our state. I've talked to the Pennsylvanians that live in this area. I've talked to the local business folks. And I have seen firsthand what this industry is doing for our Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I had great doubts about the environmental impact it may have several years ago, but I am convinced, and I am very, very excited about this industry and the future that Pennsylvania has working with this industry. This industry will provide us with a clean, reliable energy source. It will also provide us with a revenue stream for many decades to come. I was glad that the Democratic whip and Grover Norquist are together again on this issue. The people of Pennsylvania, however, have made it very clear. They want action. Every poll that's ever been taken regarding this issue, whether it be a local impact fee or a severance tax, overwhelmingly support it. House Bill 1950 represents a compromise, ladies and gentlemen, a compromise. Something that we don't hear an awful lot going down in Washington, D.C. lately, but this is a compromise. And I want to congratulate Governor Corbett on stepping forward and getting off the line that he was not going to do something with a revenue stream, a local impact fee with Marcellus Shale. I also want to congratulate and thank members of our caucus, those like Representative Quinn, Representative Harper, Representative Ellis, Representative Dave Reed, working together. Those that know those members, they don't come from neighboring counties or municipalities. They have different views, different ideas. But they've worked together to come up with a bill that protects Pennsylvania residents and natural resources and ensures that these resources will be available to address the impacts associated with the extraction of natural gas and protects thousands and thousands of jobs that this industry has created and will continue to create. Ladies and gentlemen, House Bill 1950 strikes a balance that allows Pennsylvania residents to benefit from the natural resources under state-owned land, but also continues to allow Pennsylvania's economy to benefit from a growing industry. An industry that will revolutionize energy production and change the way we meet an ever-growing demand for energy. Don't forget about that in this debate. The balance lies within House Bill 1950 is so crucial because, ladies and gentlemen, jobs are on the line. This proposal acknowledges the reality of the economic impact this industry has in Pennsylvania. The Pennsylvania Department of Labor and Industry has calculated over 10,000 new jobs have been created by the natural gas companies since 2008. These family-sustaining jobs with an average annual salary of $76,000. Beyond the jobs directly involved with the extraction of gas, there's another total of 214,000 Marcellus Shale-related jobs currently in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. This is huge for Pennsylvania. This is what people are concerned about. jobs, the economy. That is what is concerning Pennsylvanians, young and old. I talked to you about the surveys. We cannot underestimate what this industry has done for Pennsylvania and will continue to do for Pennsylvania. It is misguided to pretend for 1 minute that we do in this chamber may not have an impact on the future of this industry. It is short-sighted to argue that the companies will not leave the state because of the volume of gas in Pennsylvania. Our neighbors realize the economic impact these companies have and are going to have the great lengths to entice these companies to leave Pennsylvania. We cannot allow this to happen. In addition to protecting and creating jobs in Pennsylvania, the Commonwealth has started to realize significant royalty payments that House Bill 1950 will use to distribute hundreds of millions of dollars to important environmental programs in Pennsylvania. Hundreds of millions of dollars to important environmental programs in Pennsylvania. Many members in this chamber are enthusiastic supporters of the Growing Greener. Growing Greener is a model program that has preserved more than 100,000 acres in Pennsylvania's farmland, conserved more than 42,000 acres of open space, and capped more than 2,000 abandoned wells. Under the proposal contained in House Bill 1950, the Growing Greener program is poised to receive over $1.2 billion over the next 10 years. Ladies and gentlemen, this bill not only preserves the Growing Greener program, House Bill 1950 takes it to a new level and will allow it to expand its reach to even greater things for Pennsylvania's environment. House Bill 1950 not only helps the environmental programs like Growing Greener, but over the next 5 years, House Bill 1950 will provide over $200 million to the state's Hazardous Sites Cleanup Fund and our local county conservation districts. Let me remind everyone in this House, as we're phasing out the capital stock and franchise tax fee, which will be phased out in the year 2014, this oil and gas lease fund, as a result of House Bill 1950, will preserve a funding stream for years to come. The assortment of environmental programs that benefit this legislation will represent an historic investment for environmental protection and preservation in Pennsylvania, and each and every Pennsylvania resident will benefit from this investment. Let me address another misconception that I heard in yesterday's debate. Some have argued that House Bill 1950 equates to a 1% tax rate. That calculation fails to look at the entire picture. This is a misleading calculation that only looks at one component that these companies are paying to other states. You have to take a look at each state's tax structure, ladies and gentlemen. I heard all day long yesterday about Texas and that they extract a 7% severance tax from the gas drilling. I never heard those arguments, and the truth of the matter is that there's no corporate net income tax in the state of Texas. No corporate net income tax in the state of Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a 9.9% corporate net income tax. These gas and oil companies, they're not subchapter S corporations, ladies and gentlemen. These are S corporations paying hundreds of thousands of dollars in corporate net income tax. Those that compare our fee to Texas just fail to make that point known throughout their debate. If you combine the business taxes of over $300 million that the gas companies pay here in Pennsylvania with the fee contained in House Bill 1950, you start to see a more accurate picture. What you will see is Pennsylvania only produces approximately 4% of the natural gas that Texas produces, but we collect nearly 60% of the state revenue that Texas collects each year. Let me end by reiterating what we need to remember: the time is now to pass a bill that can become a law. The time is now that we can pass a bill in this House that can actually become a law. This time now to pass a bill that protects over 214,000 Pennsylvania's jobs, and it protects the environment for our children and for our grandchildren for decades ahead. I encourage you and enthusiastically support House Bill 1950 and those that were able to craft this. Thank you so much. Thank you.